Welcome back, internet friends. So I'm blessing you today with two important videos. So this one will be about the cadaver dogs. I have just received a bunch of information about them searching with the cadaver dogs and stuff. So I want to read that for you, and I want to show you a short clip of a retired investigator, how he speaks about the cadaver dogs. I also want to bring notice to my friend Julia. She is a dog handler, and she knows all about how these doggos work. So if you want to join her channel, you can find out a lot of great information. Any question that you guys have about how cadavers or search dogs work, Julia can answer it. All right, guys, stay tuned.
Speaks for me that it's another tool in their toolbox, so to speak.
This former major crimes investigator says he thinks police are on the right track. The Rcmp announced Friday it's bringing in cadaver dogs in the search for Lilly and Jack Sullivan, which are used to look for human remains.
But when you call cadaver dogs in this late, it's for one reason is because they are most effective when they're looking for decomposition. Two, where are they looking for decomposition and why? What information do they have that takes them to that particular position?
Police won't share details on dates, times, or the locations of the upcoming searches. In a statement to Global News, an Rcmp spokesperson said there is nothing definitive to support the children are dead, but previous searches have not yielded any results. Rcmp say, quote, deploying the human remains detection teams at this point aligns with the investigative efforts to date. All scenarios are being considered. It's critical for investigators to remain open to all possibilities to ensure our investigation is fully comprehensive. Speaking to reporters on Friday, Rcmp say these cadaver dogs can find decomposing bodies several feet in the ground, along with operating within water and with burnt remains.
We know it's going to take time. We wished it'd be faster, but we have to be patient.
The two children were first reported missing from their home in Landsdowne Station in PICTOU County on May 2nd, prompting a large-scale search effort involving hundreds of volunteers. Police say more than 80 interviews, 800 tips, and thousands of video have been compiled throughout the investigation, along with polygraph tests and forensic examinations on items discovered in the search. This staff sergeant says the cadaver dog search will continue until every angle has been explored.
There's no real timeline to follow until you extinguish all possibilities.
Mitchell Bailey, Global News, Halifax.
Okay, guys, this is just a quick video on the cadaver dogs. So the Rcmp is bringing in cadaver dogs, and I'm just going to read this article to you to give you a better understanding on what is going on in the Lilly and Jack case. Now we know it's been over 4 months since the two children went missing, and they're just now bringing in cadaver dogs. But it's okay because these dogs can smell for a long time. They can search out remains for a long time, guys. So let's start. It says the search for the two young siblings who disappeared more than 4 months ago from their home in rural Nova Scotia is set to resume with a team of police cadaver dogs and their handlers. Lilly and Jack Sullivan, age 6 and 4, were reported missing on May 2nd from their home in Landsdowne Station, PICTOU County. So the children's family has said that the siblings wandered away that morning from the home, which is situated in a heavily wooded area. This marks the first time that the Rcmp Police Dog Services teams, specifically trained in human remains detection, will be used in this investigation. So I just want to stop there for a minute, guys, because I know that there have been talks about the other dogs, that the Rcmp has duly trained dogs. So now, yes, they do. But these dogs are just only trained in cadaver, from what I understand. Now, it says the past searches have used police dogs that are able to pick up a human scent. Like we were just saying, they're duly trained. But these dogs that are coming in are just for remains. Now it says for the children's paternal grandmother, Belinda Gray, this news offers some hope. I want them home more than I want to know what happened, Belinda said. That can come afterwards. I need them found. I need to know. The 2 handlers and their dogs will be arriving in Nova Scotia from Alberta and British Columbia. Human remains detection dogs are specific to human remain odor, and that's completely different from live searching, said Staff Sergeant Stephen Pike, Program Manager of the Rcmp Police Dog Services Training Center, and during a media availability on Friday. What it comes down to is you search the areas of highest probability. So when we think of highest probability, most likely the home, surrounding areas, waterways, areas where they caught surveillance, most likely, just from taking a guess here. And then it says, so any investigation would have to direct you or point you in the areas of the highest probability. Now it goes on to say that the RCMP would not provide details. They would not provide details on when the searches would be taking place or at which locations. I believe this is good, because if they believe someone is suspicious or something, they don't want them knowing where they're going to be searching, or because they go and move the bodies, or you never know. You know what I mean? You never know. So this is good. This is good right here. It says spokesperson Cindy Bears said they were withholding that information in consideration of the investigation and officer safety. Now, if you guys are aware, if you live in Canada and you follow the news in the US, we just had a police fatality the other day in York, Pennsylvania. It's not too far away from me. It's just a bunch of stuff's been going on, guys. It's better that they are safe than sorry. She added, there is nothing definitive to support the children are deceased, but that other searches to date have not located them. And then it continues to say, deploying the human remains detection teams at this point aligns with the investigative efforts to date. All scenarios are being considered. It's critical for investigators to remain open to all possibilities to ensure our investigation is fully comprehensive, Bears wrote in an email. Okay. And then it continues to say, the investigation into Lilly and Jack's disappearance has included multiple searches by hundreds of volunteers and police from the surrounding areas. Authorities scaled back the search 6 days after they went missing, saying it was unlikely that children were still alive. Police have said there is no evidence of abduction. So they're mentioning that again. And court documents indicate polygraph tests on the siblings' parents suggest truthful answers, and they write that in red. And it also goes on to say investigators have also conducted forensic examination on such items such as pieces of a pink blanket believed to belong to Lilly. All right, and that's also in red. All right, so they want us to make sure that we know that information. To this date, we receive over 800 tips. We've done 80 interviews, over 1,000 tasks, and reviewed over 8,000 videos, said Nova Scotia's RCMP spokesperson. It says, certainly there are a lot of work in missing persons investigations, and this is the next step with our resources. We're looking at every resource that is available, and investigators are working hard every day on this file. It goes on to say the RCMP police dog service handlers said that their dogs can detect remains buried several feet underground, water, and among the ashes. So that's great. And then it also said, because among the ashes, so remember the fires, you know what I mean? So this does not hinder the dog's sense of smell. Also goes on to say whether they can detect anything can depend on conditions and variables such as the rate of decomposition, whether in the presence of wild animals. Also goes on to say a lot of it is environmentally based. And for example, what was the person wearing? Where do they pass on? Is it in the fall? Is it in the midsummer? So basically seasons and stuff like that. All that will have an effect on the human body, says the dog handler. Sergeant Dave Whalen, who was a part of the team heading to Nova Scotia. So the dog handler's name is Dave Whalen. This is great. Thank you, Dave, for doing this. Thank you so much. It goes on to say observers like retired police investigator Jim Hoskins, he was one of the ones that spoke earlier on about this investigation, saying it's very odd that 2 children go missing. He's an older gentleman. He actually did a few interviews, if you remember, if you've been watching this case. He goes on to say this new development indicates police know more than they can say. Of course they do. Of course they do. I mean, that's common sense. They know something that is worth looking at, but the question is, where is it and what part of the community are they searching for, said Hoskins. When you call cadaver dogs in this late, it's for one reason. It's because they are most effective when they are looking for decomposition, where they are looking for decomposition and why. What information do they have that takes them to this particular position? Now we're coming to the end, and it says, what does it say? As for a timeline on the search, police say it is difficult to say. There is no real timeline to follow until you extinguish all possibilities, said Pike. So that is the end of the news article that was just posted on the Global News and Canada. So let's pray that these guys here can find our missing Lilly and Jack and get some answers on what happened to them. Hey internet friends, I just want to say thank you so much for coming to my channel and watching my videos. If you would like to become a member of this community, feel free with the member link below. And thank you all so much again. I really enjoy all of your comments, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.